Oh. Is it on?
Yeah. You want to read off the... Well, you don't have to read. Just this part.
Is this on?
Yeah, it's on. See how it's blinking? So, like, the main thing of the intro test says is to ride the horse forward with steady tempo into elastic contact with independent, steady hands and correctly balanced seat to show proper geometry of the figures with correct bend.
Okay, well,
Those are the things that
we probably won't do any of that, but
excellent. That's why keep that in mind. It's just like a nice, steady, even trot, like consistent
we'll be like,
tempo. Yeah, and try to reach for the reins if you can.
okay.
Remember to go out so that we know when you're starting to come back in.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know you were going to scream at me.
M, working trot rising. A, circle right, swing in, working trot rising.
ready.
Okay, so it was really good. Your center line was extremely straight, which was nice, up until you had to ask him to downward transition, and then he started getting a little wobbly. And so I think that might have been because maybe you had uneven pressure on one rein or the other, because horses, you know how they are. You can, especially when you're going down a center line, just the slightest move and they're going to move off of it. But other than that, it was good, and then you were able to bounce back and recover. Make sure when you're tracking right that you're getting as close as possible to up here, you know,
Okay.
don't cut your corner. Worried about getting too close to the end of the ring, because ideally you would come up like right to the end of it, because you want to be at the rail when you're going around the turn. Okay, on your working trot rising, it was a really good transition upwards. However, he had incorrect bend going around this corner for some reason, so I don't know if it was maybe a little bit of outside ring pressure or something.
Going,
but yeah, so just
when
make
I was
sure that-
coming around this way?
No, like when you first started and you were going around this way about to go pick up your trot, he just
Yeah.
had his nose tilted a little slight bit to the outside, which I don't think is an issue. I think it's just, you might have had a little more pressure on one rein than the other.
He doesn't, he
I know
doesn't
how it
go
is.
that
People get
as well.
nervous.
It's much harder that direction for
Yeah,
him.
well, yeah, so, he was a little bit fussy at first, but he was able to manage to get himself back together, and he had a very pleasant, beginning of the circle. He got a little bit quick, his tempo picked up a little
Yeah.
bit in that corner, which I'm sure you already felt, but you were able to get it back, so it was nice, because you were able to settle him back down and get that back going around the far corner. So that was good. Make sure that you're getting all the way in your corners. Like I said, that's honestly, I've been riding dressage tests for years, and corners have always been it's just everybody's issue. Don't feel bad about it.
I haven't, well, you know what, in this arena, I don't really practice it
Yeah.
because, well,
it's hard to get it. Yeah.
well, and it's not very stable over there
Right.
looking, and now you've got this here, so I guess I
same
really
thing.
haven't practiced it that much.
Yeah, the same thing, just on the corner thing, when you were coming around to go on your free walk, you really made a big, huge cut on that
Yeah.
corner. So just typically you would want to get further in those corners. It was a really good change of bend though at the trot. When you came across the diagonal at the trot, you had him very straight, and then it was just flawlessly right into the correct bend going this direction, which was very nice. It was a very balanced second half of this trot circle. It started off a little bit, you know, I think he was just trying to figure out what you were doing, and then once he figured, oh, we're going on a circle, he had really nice bend. He was on the bit. His tempo didn't increase or decrease or anything, so it was really pleasant coming around there. Good transition down to your medium walk. A little more stretch and relaxation through his back going across the, because that's really what they're looking for, is that swing in their back and whether they're stretching their noses down going across on that free walk.
I was more concerned about him straight because he was,
Yeah, and what the good thing is that, you know, from my vantage point, you know, I can't really tell if you're going straight across or not. So if he takes one step or the other, you can't really tell from here.
Okay.
So, you know, worry more
good to
about
know.
his, well, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
'cause from here, it's like he's going on a diagonal trajectory away from me, so how do I know if he's one step over this way or that way or whatever? Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a completely different read. Yeah. So, which is why when they do those Rolex tests, they have judges at all those places,
Right.
Try to do. It was a really good turn at first. You got in that corner, excellent, and all of that. He did overshoot it just a slight bit, and I think it might have helped a little bit if you had that outside rein supporting him through that smaller turn to go onto the center line. Just because I think that he was kind of like coming around the turn, and he just needed that little bit of help from that outside rein to keep that shoulder in, because his shoulder was the only part that wasn't straight on that. But he was able to recover well, and then your halt was very quiet, very nice with his head. It was a little bit crooked, obviously.
Yeah.
He took a couple
We did a
steps,
little.
but he was good with his head during that, so that was good. So I think it was overall pretty good. You know, we know what we need to work on.
Right.
Corners. And then just making sure that you have that bend, and making sure that your transition,
Boy.
or not your transitions, your circles are, you know, the same tempo all the way around, because that's what they're looking for. But like I said, the start of the circles got a little, you know, it was just, I think he was thinking that he was just going to go on down the wall, and then you turned him on a circle, and he was like, wait a minute, what are we doing? And then he was able to recover, so that was good.
That letter down there feels really close to the rails because when you try to turn and come across the diagonal, it's pretty,
Yeah.
if you're in the corner,
Really
it's
tight
pretty
turn.
sharp.
Okay.
But,
And like I said, hopefully, I mean, we'll hopefully re-measure everything, because they're gonna, I don't know if you were planning to do it again next week, but, I know Denise is, so we're gonna re-measure it essentially, but.
Yeah, so that was good. So let's try it one
I'm
more time.
off next week on Sunday, but not on Saturday. Yeah.
Not always how it works.
Can I mention two things?
Yeah.
I know he's got a much bigger trot in there.
Yeah,
Don't
he was very tight through his
Don't
back.
choke up on him so much.
Mhm.
I could tell you were trying to like get him quote on the bit and stuff.
Mhm.
Just ride like you do out there when you get that real big pretty trot.
Yeah.
Let the reins out a little bit. Do not worry about his head. Just maintain a light contact and let him come through because he wasn't able to come through because you were.
Yeah, I was hanging on to him pretty
And
tight.
then somebody explained this to me one time about starting movements. It helped a lot. So you always want to start your movement at like, think your body and your horse's shoulder. So if I'm coming across the diagonal, this is my horse's head, I don't want to go like this. See how my horse's head, I'm already off the rail, my horse's head is off the rail at the letter.
Right.
I want to come to the letter, and then when my body or my horse's shoulders get to the letter, that's when I start my movement.
Yeah.
Same thing when you're coming to it. You don't want to ride your horse's head to M, because then you'll be like this. You ride to it so that when you're back at M, your shoulders, your horse's shoulders, your shoulders are at M.
So you have to start a little sooner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you start your